Imagine growing up with a name that is synonymous with power, crime, and corruption. That's the reality Sonny Capone faced as the son of Al Capone, one of history's most infamous gangsters. In this video, we are uncovering the hidden story of Al Capone and his son, Sonny Capone. From his privileged upbringing to his desperate attempts to break free from his father's notorious legacy, we'll explore the untold tale of a man trapped in the shadow of a gangster legend. But did Sonny follow in his father's footsteps, or did he try to forge his own path? Stay glued till the end to find out. Early life that led to the birth of Sonny. Born on January 7, 1899 in Brooklyn, New York City, Alphonse Gabriel Capone's roots can be traced back to Italian immigrants, Gabriele Capone and Teresa Capone. Hailing from the small town of Angri, near Naples in Italy, the Capone family made their voyage to America in 1893, settling initially in the Navy Yard section of Brooklyn. Life in the bustling borough was eventful for the Capones, who later relocated to Park Slope when Capone was only 11. Amidst a brood of 9 siblings, which included James Vincenzo, Raphael James Ralph, Salvatore Frank, Ermina, Ermino Albert, Matthew, and Mafalda, family ties were deeply woven. Ralph and Frank would later become integral figures in Capone's criminal endeavors. Capone's early years showcased promise academically, but his rebellious spirit clashed with the rigid structure of his Catholic school. Expelled at 14 for striking a teacher, Capone ventured into odd jobs around Brooklyn, from working in a candy store to trying his hand at semi-professional baseball. Yet, the streets of Brooklyn weren't always kind. Raised in a rough neighborhood, young Capone witnessed the shadowy dance of gang activity and violence. Meanwhile, fate had grander designs for him when he crossed paths with Johnny Torrio, a local gangster who would become his guiding light. Under Torrio's wing, Capone ventured into the realm of organized crime, a realm where ambition and ruthlessness paved the way to power. By 1918, he had relocated to the bustling metropolis of Chicago, answering the beckoning call of opportunity and adventure. There, he found himself under the wing of Torrio's uncle, the formidable Big Jim Colosimo. However, the tides of fortune shifted dramatically when Colosimo fell victim to an assassin's bullet. In the ensuing chaos, Torrio seized control of the operation, and Capone swiftly ascended to become his trusted lieutenant. Amidst the chaos of his rising criminal endeavors, Capone discovered a sense of peace and direction in his personal relationships. In the year 1918, he took the significant step of marrying May Coughlin, signaling the commencement of a fresh phase in his eventful journey. This union not only solidified his commitment to May, but also marked the inception of a new family legacy. Their union bore fruit with the arrival of their cherished son, Albert Francis Capone, affectionately nicknamed Sonny. On the 4th of December 1918, amidst the bustling city of Chicago, Illinois, Sonny made his entrance into the world, bringing joy and hope to his parents' lives amid the challenges of the times. However, his arrival was marred by congenital syphilis and a severe mastoid infection. Despite these adversities, he underwent essential brain surgery to combat the disease, albeit at the cost of partial deafness. Capone declared his deep affection, expressing his determination to provide Sonny with the best care. When faced with Sonny's crippling mastoid infection, Capone sought out a renowned specialist in New York City. Going to extraordinary lengths, Capone went to great lengths to help his son, offering $100,000 for Sonny's medical treatment. His intervention had a significant impact, and Sonny's hearing was partially restored. Sonny's health setback did not slow down Capone's meteoric rise in the criminal underworld. In the streets of Chicago, Illinois, Capone's ascent was swift and formidable. He effortlessly maneuvered through the perilous world of organized crime, starting from the lower ranks of small-time gangs to ultimately joining the formidable 5 Points gang. In the world of crime, Capone found some stability in his marriage to May. But when legal problems started, it marked the beginning of a journey that would change the Capone legacy. Capone's move to Chicago. In 1919, Capone's journey took a fateful turn as he left the gritty streets of New York City behind and ventured into the heartland of Chicago. Invited by Johnny Torrio, a man deeply entrenched in the city's underworld, Capone's arrival marked the beginning of a new chapter, one fraught with danger and opportunity. Chicago, with its bustling streets and shadowy alleys, offered Capone a canvas upon which to paint his ambitions. Initially finding employment as a bouncer in a brothel, Capone's path crossed with the seedy underbelly of the city, where vice and violence danced hand in hand. In the shadowy hallways, people talked about Capone having syphilis. Even though he heard about it, he decided to focus on getting more power and money instead of getting treatment for the disease. In 1923, with the winds of fortune blowing in his favor, Capone made a bold move, purchasing a modest house in Chicago's Park Manor neighborhood. But amidst the facade of domesticity, darker forces were at play. The Chicago Daily Tribune chronicled the tale of Joe Howard, a hijacker who met his untimely demise after crossing paths with Capone and Torrio's bootlegging enterprise. It was a grim reminder of the stakes at play in the city's ruthless underworld. As the Roaring Twenties unfolded, Capone's name began to echo through the corridors of power, not as a mere enforcer, but as a shrewd businessman. With Torrio at the helm, the duo steered their criminal empire through the treacherous waters of Prohibition, forging alliances with Canadian bootleggers to smuggle liquor into the thirsty veins of America. But as Capone rose to power, he also gained enemies, particularly the North Side gang led by Dean O'Banion. Torrio's failed attempt to eliminate O'Banion only fueled their thirst for revenge. This escalated into a violent clash that turned Chicago's streets into a battleground, with blood spilled from all sides. While rumors of Capone's actions spread, he remained a mysterious figure, his true motives hidden. Some saw him as a ruthless leader, orchestrating the downfall of his rivals with precision. Others viewed him as a ghostly figure, haunting the city's dark corners in a time of chaos. Regardless, Capone's impact on Chicago was undeniable, a legacy that would endure beyond his rule. As Capone's criminal empire grew, so did his reputation. He became known as Scarface due to a scar above his left eyebrow, which he obtained during a fight. He was also known for his ruthless tactics and his ability to evade the law. Capone's rise to power was not without challenges. He faced opposition from rival gangs and law enforcement, who were determined to bring him down. More crimes in Chicago. In January 1925, Al Capone faced a deadly threat. His son, Sonny, was ambushed in a terrifying attack, but miraculously escaped unharmed. This close call revealed Sonny's remarkable ability to withstand extreme danger. But just 12 days later, fate struck again, dealing a devastating blow when his mentor and guide, Johnny Torrio, was brutally gunned down during a routine shopping trip, falling victim to a hail of bullets. As Torrio fought to recover from his wounds, he made a fateful decision that would alter the course of Chicago's criminal landscape. Handing over the reins of power to the young and ambitious Capone, aged only 26, Torrio entrusted him with the keys to an empire built on illegal breweries and a vast transportation network spanning all the way to Canada. With political and law enforcement protection in his pocket, Capone wasted no time in asserting his dominance. Under Capone's reign, violence became a currency for control, with any dissent swiftly met with explosive consequences. Refusal to comply with Capone's liquor empire often led to devastating bombings, claiming the lives of as many as 100 individuals throughout the tumultuous 1920s. As rival gangs pointed fingers at Capone for the proliferation of brothels in the city, his grip on power tightened. Yet amidst the chaos and bloodshed, Capone was not without his softer side. Known for his affinity for jazz, he often welcomed members of the black community into his operations, forging unlikely alliances with musicians like Milt Hinton and Lionel Hampton. His love for the genre extended to personal encounters, such as the time he challenged clarinetist Johnny Dodds to play an unfamiliar tune, offering a hefty reward for success. As his empire grew, so too did Capone's appetite for the finer things in life. Custom suits, exquisite cigars, gourmet cuisine, and the company of beautiful women adorned his extravagant lifestyle. Renowned for his ostentatious jewelry and lavish indulgences, Capone reveled in his status as a national celebrity, brushing off inquiries about his activities with a charming nonchalance. In the end, Capone had become more than a mere gangster. He was a legend, a symbol of power and excess in a tumultuous era. Though his reign was marked by violence and controversy, his legacy as a larger-than-life figure continues to captivate the imagination of generations to come. Nestled in the heart of Cicero, Illinois, Capone orchestrated a campaign of bribery and intimidation, tightening his grip on the town council elections. His iron-fisted control made it nearly impossible for rival factions, like the Northsiders, to challenge his dominance. But with power came peril, as evidenced by the gruesome fate of Capone's driver, found tortured and slain in a chilling display of retribution. Undeterred by Capone's stronghold, the Northsiders launched a bold attack on his sanctuary at the Hawthorne Inn. In a carefully planned ambush, gunmen rained bullets upon the inn's windows, hoping to draw Capone into their line of fire. Miraculously unharmed, Capone emerged from the chaos untouched. Yet peace negotiations faltered. Amidst escalating tensions, tragedy struck the Northsiders' camp with the assassination of their leader, Weiss, outside their headquarters. In retaliation, Capone's associate, the owner of Hawthorne's restaurant, fell victim to Moran and Drucci, kidnapped and silenced, serving as a grim reminder of the escalating conflict's stakes. Fearing for his safety, Capone grew increasingly vigilant, seeking refuge beyond the confines of Chicago's streets. With secrecy as his shield, he and his retinue would stealthily slip away to train depots, purchasing entire sleeper cars under false identities. Their destinations varied, from the bustling cityscape of Cleveland to the tranquil retreats of Little Rock and Hot Springs, Arkansas, each offering a temporary respite from the dangers lurking in the Windy City. But it was in the sun-kissed enclave of Palm Island, Florida, that Capone found solace and sanctuary. In 1928, Capone finalized the purchase of an expansive mansion. With a mere signature and a significant payment of $40,000, he acquired a luxurious residence situated amidst the picturesque landscapes of Miami and Miami Beach. This serene retreat offered a stark contrast to the chaotic atmosphere of Chicago's streets. Sonny, the child of a notorious crime boss, shielded from the dark shadows of his father's criminal empire, Sonny enjoyed a childhood cocooned in warmth and luxury. Capone was determined that his son would tread a different path, one far removed from the violent underbelly of the underworld that he himself inhabited. Amidst the opulence, Capone ensured his family lived comfortably, sparing no expense in providing Sonny with the finest education and opportunities. But as the years unfurled their truths, Sonny found himself grappling with the weight of his father's legacy. The whispers of his father's deeds, the whispers that once danced on the periphery of his understanding, grew louder, more insistent. He wrestled with the moral complexities of his lineage, the burden of being the offspring of a man whose name was synonymous with infamy. The Capone household was thrown into disarray as news of legal proceedings echoed through the streets. In 1929, Capone faced indictment for tax evasion but managed to evade conviction. However, his luck waned in 1931, when he was indicted again for the same offense. This time, he was found guilty and received an 11-year sentence in federal prison, marking a decisive and irreversible turning point for the family. 12 years old, Sonny watched helplessly and witnessed his powerful father, the family's dominant figure, being forcibly taken away from him. The absence of his father deeply influenced Sonny during his formative years, leaving him with a solemn awareness of life's intricacies. With Capone behind bars, Sonny felt lost, his sense of direction wavering without his father's guidance. In Sonny's father's absence, Sonny's initial foray into independence led him to the streets of Miami, where he embarked on a career as a used car salesman. Possessing a natural charm and a sharp intellect, Sonny quickly distinguished himself in the trade, effortlessly persuading unsuspecting customers with his winning smile. However, his associations with unsavory characters and questionable business dealings soon attracted scrutiny, prompting Sonny to seek new avenues for his ambitions. Despite the challenges of navigating life without his father's presence, Sonny's thirst for knowledge remained undiminished. In his formative years, Sonny enrolled in the esteemed halls of St. Patrick's School in Miami Beach, Florida. During his school days, Sonny formed a strong bond with a classmate who later became a legend in the television industry. That classmate was D.C. Arnaz, the creative genius behind hit shows like I Love Lucy and the founder of Desilu Productions, a pioneering production company that left a lasting impact on TV history. Following high school, he ventured to the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, driven by a desire to broaden his horizons. However, his educational journey took a different turn, leading him to the University of Miami, where he ultimately completed his studies and earned his degree. Sonny also served in the U.S. Army during World War II and received an honorable discharge. Following the war, he embarked on forging his own path, determined to carve out a life separate from the shadow of his father's legacy. Meanwhile, Capone's health had been steadily deteriorating, marked by a series of worsening symptoms that necessitated his release from prison on November 16, 1939. He required treatment for syphilitic paresis and was referred to Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. However, due to his notorious reputation, the hospital refused to admit him. Fortunately, Union Memorial Hospital in Baltimore accepted him, providing compassionate care. After weeks of receiving both inpatient and outpatient care, Capone, still in poor health, departed Baltimore on March 20, 1940, returning to his mansion in Palm Island, Florida. By 1942, with the advent of mass-produced penicillin in the United States, Capone became one of the initial recipients of the groundbreaking drug. Though it couldn't fully reverse the damage inflicted on his brain, it did slow down the progression of his illness. In 1946, doctors evaluated Capone's mental condition, equating it to that of a 12-year-old. He spent his final years at his Palm Island estate with his wife and grandchildren. However, on January 21, 1947, Capone experienced a stroke. Although he initially improved, he later developed bronchopneumonia. This led to a cardiac arrest, and on January 25, 1954, with Sonny and the rest of his family present, Capone passed away at home from heart failure caused by apoplexy. Before Capone's death, his son Sonny had already embarked on his marital journey. Sonny married Diane Ruth Casey in 1941, and together they built a family, welcoming 4 daughters: Veronica, Teresa, Barbara, and Patricia Capone Brown. Their marriage lasted until July 1964. Court case and Sonny's identity. Sonny, determined to steer clear of his father's criminal path, unexpectedly found himself in a courtroom alongside his old friend, Desi Arnaz. Their grievance stemmed from Desi's production company, Desilu Productions, portraying Capone unfavorably in the popular TV series, The Untouchables. This show chronicled law enforcement agent Elliot Ness's fight against organized crime during Prohibition-era Chicago. Unsatisfied with his father's portrayal, Sonny took legal action against Desilu Productions. They filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, alleging libel and unfair use of Capone's image. They contended that their innocent grandchildren suffered bullying and other hardships due to the show's depiction of Capone. Despite their efforts, their quest for justice hit several roadblocks. The District Court, the Chicago Circuit Court, and even the Supreme Court ruled against them. Nevertheless, Desilu Productions persisted in producing and airing The Untouchables, undaunted by the legal challenges posed by the Capones. While Sonny flourished in the realms of business, delving into real estate and construction, he couldn't shake off the ever-present spotlight cast by his father's infamous reputation. Despite his own accomplishments, he found himself grappling with the relentless scrutiny and intrigue that surrounded his family's notorious legacy. Over time, Sonny grew increasingly frustrated by the relentless media scrutiny and public focus on Capone's criminal activities, which often overshadowed his positive community contributions. Amidst this, Sonny found himself entangled once more in the complexities of romance. He was drawn to the allure of 2 new women, embarking on separate journeys of love and commitment. One of these women was America Amy Francis, a captivating presence who quickly captured Sonny's heart. Their union was marked by fiery passion and vibrant energy. Yet, despite their initial chemistry, their marriage ultimately dissolved, reflecting a pattern that would repeat with his subsequent wife, whose identity remains unknown. Burdened by the weight of his infamous family name and the misconceptions it brought, Sonny made a definitive choice. Seeking to break free from his father's shadow, he legally changed his name to Albert Francis Brown. This decision was more than a mere alteration of letters. It was a symbolic declaration of independence, a conscious effort to redefine himself and establish his own identity, separate from the notorious Capone legacy. However, despite Sonny's earnest efforts to distance himself from his family's criminal past, his encounters with the law persisted. One of Sonny's notable encounters with the law took place in 1965. According to reports, Sonny was caught in a situation where he allegedly stole 2 bottles of aspirin and a packet of batteries, valued at a mere $3.50, from the Quick Check Market in North Miami Beach. When Sonny was apprehended, he commented in a casual tone that everyone has a bit of a dishonest streak. Later, he admitted to the shoplifting charge and was given a 2-year probation sentence. Then, in 1968, Sonny made headlines for threatening Senator Edward Kennedy, a prominent political figure. This incident triggered widespread concern and uproar, drawing increased scrutiny to Sonny's actions and associations. As the years went by, Sonny's life became a roller coaster of contradictions. He struggled with his own demons, poor decision-making, and the weight of his father's legacy. The memoir and the final tragedies of Sonny. In his 60s, Sonny had long since broken free from the shackles of his family's notorious legacy, forging a peaceful existence far removed from the dark shadows of his father's criminal empire. Yet, the ghosts of his childhood continued to whisper in his ear, beckoning him to confront the memories he had long suppressed. It wasn't until the early 1980s, when Sonny's own story was begging to be told, that he finally put pen to paper. With a fierce determination to set the record straight, he wrote My Father's Son, a memoir that would shatter the myths surrounding his father's name and reveal the Capone that only he knew. A loving father, a generous philanthropist, and a complex man behind the infamous legend. The book became an instant bestseller, offering a rare glimpse into the Capone family's private world and cementing Sonny's place as the keeper of his father's true legacy. One day, a call came from the nursing home where his mother, May, had resided for years. With her health declining, the staff suggested it was time for Sonny to bid his farewells. Rushing to her side, his heart weighed down with emotion, he entered her room. As he approached, May's eyes lit up weakly. "Sonny, my boy," she whispered faintly, her voice barely audible. Sonny gently took her hand, and they sat together, silence thick with the weight of their family's history. As May's gaze wandered, Sonny's thoughts turned inward, reflecting on his path, the choices he made to distance himself from the family business, and the struggles he overcame. With a gentle squeeze of his hand, May whispered her final words. "Be proud of who you are, Sonny. You are a good man." And with that, she passed away on April 16, 1986, at the age of 89, in a Hollywood, Florida nursing home. Tears streaming down his face, Sonny held her hand for a long time, grateful for her love and sacrifices, which had shielded him from the dark side of his father's world. As he said his final goodbye, Sonny made a resolute decision to continue living the life he had built, free from the shadows of his family's past. But fate had another twist in store for Sonny. He passed away in 2004 at the age of 85 in Florida, leaving behind a legacy of his own. Though the exact month of his passing remains a question, his final rest in California marked the end of an era and the conclusion of a life lived on his own terms. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.